At the beginning of the year, Rolex once again implemented a price hike, which shouldn't be surprising. This video will delve into the topic of the Rolex price increase, taking a unique perspective. We've examined Rolex's price hikes over the past decade in comparison to other aspects of our lives, yielding intriguing results. Whether you're an avid collector, a curious observer, or simply interested in the luxury market, get ready for an exploration into the world of Rolex and its ever-rising prices. The average price increase stands at 4.4 to 4.5%. For example, a black steel Submariner went from approximately $8,600 to $9,000, while a steel Daytona increased from $12,700 to $13,200. Steel sports models saw a rise of around $3,000 to $4,500, with slightly more for precious metal items. In light of the current economic situation, Rolex watches seem to occupy a middle ground among other luxury non-essential items. The price hikes over the past decade are justified when compared to other asset classes. However, one notable aspect is the 28.5% salary increase in the United Kingdom, which may be concerning for residents, especially when compared to the significantly higher increases in the prices of goods we purchase. Let's analyze three watches: the black steel Rolex Submariner, the Bluesy two-tone, and the steel Rolex Daytona, examining their retail prices from 2014, a decade ago. We projected these prices forward to 2034 based on past data and observed trends. While these projected prices for the watches in 10 years may not be entirely accurate, it's intriguing to consider that a basic black steel Submariner could potentially cost $14,000. The Bluesy might hike up to $21,000, and the steel Panda Daytona could cost $22,000 if the price continues to increase at the same rate as it did over the past decade. This might seem outrageous, especially when recalling what we were paying for these watches on the gray market just a year and a half or 2 years ago. Using this video as a reference point in the future will be interesting to see how accurate these projections turn out to be. However, it's hard to imagine Rolex consistently increasing prices every single year for the next decade, given how these projected prices appear excessively high. Money and its value change over time, and while the exercise highlights a significant increase in watch prices, it seems improbable for Rolex to follow such an aggressive pricing strategy. This kind of price evolution is common in the world of watches, but it emphasizes the changing dynamics of value over time. The phenomenon of price increases is not unique to watches. It occurs in various markets, such as the housing market or cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, reflecting the changing dynamics of value over time. Given this information, we reflected on the reasons behind Rolex's pattern of raising the prices of their watches. The detailed explanation centers around the concept of inflation, which refers to the upward movement in the prices of goods and services in our daily lives. This indicates that money is a depreciating asset, and it's often advised not to keep money in the bank over time as the value of money tends to decrease. While inflation rates might have a negative connotation, moderate year-on-year inflation can be beneficial for the economy. It helps businesses remain profitable, and for individuals holding assets like Rolex watches, houses, or gold, it can continue to an increase in their value over time. As a brief experiment, let's consider the price of a steel Submariner, which was £5,700 in 2014. With an inflation calculator, this amount would be equivalent to around £7,500 in today's money. Interestingly, this is not too far off when comparing it to the current price increase of the Rolex Submariner, which is now £9,000. Rolex has increased the prices of their watches at a faster pace than the rate of inflation. For instance, if you had £5,700 in the year 2014, it would be equivalent to around £9 million in today's money. In historical context, back in 1209 during King John's reign, his net worth was $5 million, an astounding sum for that era. The rationale behind Rolex's consistent price hikes lies in the significant annual increases in manufacturing costs, encompassing machinery, employee salaries, and utility bills. Rolex adjusts prices to match rising costs, ensuring continual profitability and leading to increased revenue year after year. It's worth noting that Rolex operates as a non-profit organization, not driven solely by profit-hungry directors. While they aim to grow the business, their focus isn't solely on increasing stock prices or maximizing profits. Nevertheless, despite being a non-profit, Rolex consistently reports significant profits each year. Rolex increases prices annually because they can, as people continue to buy their watches regardless of the price hikes. This strategy has proven effective, given the enduring demand for Rolex timepieces. In the market realm, there's been a noticeable shift. Advertisements offering precious metal watches like Skydwellers, Yachtmasters, and Submariners are encountering sales challenges compared to previous years. This decline is attributed to the fact that these watches now trade below retail prices, causing potential buyers to hesitate in investing in luxury watches that may not retain their value. This change in market dynamics has made it increasingly difficult to sell watches that were once in high demand. This market observation is truly intriguing. If you're genuinely interested in acquiring these watches for personal use, it's a fantastic time, truly remarkable. However, if you intend to flip them for profit, the current market conditions might not be favorable. This leads us to contemplate the symbiotic relationship between the performance of the secondary market, the success of authorized dealers, and Rolex's overall prosperity. While there may be jesting about the heavy hand of gray market dealers in the market, there is some truth to the notion that their influence can impact the success of the watch industry. Notably, advertisements are not performing as well due to changes in the dynamics of the secondary market. Looking ahead, if Rolex continues its pattern of annual price increases, there is a concern that younger audiences might gradually be priced out of the market. A steel Submariner priced at £9,000 is undoubtedly a substantial amount of money. While Rolex is a luxury brand and its products are non-essential, the potential exclusion of younger aspiring customers may pose challenges to the brand's long-term sustainability. Considering the secondary market, it is worth exploring how Rolex's price hikes affect it. Initially, one might think it could squeeze the margins for gray market dealers as retail prices rise. However, the reality is that both retail and gray market prices tend to increase in parallel. Consequently, there remains a margin for watch businesses, and the value of assets purchased years ago often appreciates over time, similarly to any other product. Rolex watches are subject to the cost increases associated with inflation, including rising costs for materials, labor, and other production expenses. To maintain their profit margins, Rolex adjusts their prices accordingly. In summary, this observation implies that if you've made a watch purchase in the past, it is appreciated partly due to Rolex's ongoing price hikes. For potential Rolex buyers, it's wise to act sooner rather than later, to potentially avoid steeper prices in the future. As for our thoughts on the Rolex price hike topic discussed in this video, we'd love to hear your opinions in the comment section below. And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us at ventichic. Don't forget to like and comment on this video, and subscribe to our channel for future updates. See you in our next video.